Hello, and welcome to the non-Greg Sterlace show, except only the substitutes. I am your host, the Pamazon. Hey, yo host.
Yo, co-host.
The co-host, let's see, I don't know. There we go.
Hello. I am the inhaler of the Riff tree, here to bring you, of course, the great songs of our show. As you know, thank you, Michael. Great success.
Hi.
It's May, and it was her birthday.
Yes.
Recently.
Yeah, I'm this many.
There you go.
I'm drawing like a child.
Oh, hi.
Yes,
Hi, Mike.
Yes. So, Mike, is Life Cereal still treating you good?
Yeah, see?
I like Life Cereal. I don't care what they say.
I don't think I've ever had it.
It's pretty good. It's just kind of like a better version of, like,
Hi, pals.
a great success.
Oh, hey, it's to Duds.
Yes,
Ta-da!
my favorite.
Dudley.
Best duck.
Dudley the
Yeah.
duck.
Yes, I do enjoy ducks.
Salame.
Salome, great success. Yes, yes. What's some of you guys like top 10 favorite guitarists? I kept thinking about that all week.
I don't know if I have favorite guitarists. I have some favorite bass players.
That's weird considering you play more guitar than you do bass.
Absolutely.
Then why don't you have any top guitarists?
I don't know. Maybe because they don't impress me because I play guitar all the time. I mean, maybe they should. Maybe that's arrogance, but, you know,
I
whatever.
say, I don't know. How are you supposed to get any better if there's nobody to look up to? I'm already great. I know how to play it. See, I'm the best. I don't listen to anybody because I already know I'm the best. Holy crap.
I wasn't trying to say it like that. I'm just like, it's not as mysterious.
Just kidding.
It's like, oh, I know how you did that. Bitch, I know how you did that.
Okay.
Maybe I can't do it now, but I could.
Give me
If
a
I
few,
tried
Mike.
long enough.
Alex Lifeson,
Great
Tony
success.
Iommi.
Yes, that's one of my favorites.
John Petrucci. I know there's more I have are favorites, but I'm trying to think on the spot.
What about? I don't know. I love Tony Iommi, Liz Buckingham, Matt Pike.
I'll give some.
Oh yeah, and there's also Dave Mustaine.
Yes.
I'm going to say Joni Mitchell.
Joni Mitchell is great.
Mama Carter.
Yes, she's also great.
She is great. Yes.
Yes.
I'm going to admit that as much as I love music, until very recently, I've been very bad about knowing anything about anybody in the bands I like. So,
And for bass players, Chris Squire. He's the best. He's so good. Chris Squire.
Geddy Lee.
Chris
Les
Squire.
Claypool.
Yes, Geddy Lee and Les Claypool are some of my favorite.
Oh,
bass
John
players.
Entwistle.
Yes. I don't know, because I was listening to a lot of, what do you call him? Electric Wizard. And I realize I really like Liz Buckingham. But then it's like she's almost like too heavy. Like, it's like it's a little too extreme. It's like I like how it sounds, but it's a little too fuzz driven. It's like, and I don't know, because I feel like Liz Buckingham is the most famous doom metal guitar player. And I understand why, but sometimes I like a little less fuzz.
oh, so you like it's overproduced kind of thing?
Well, I just like a little, give it a little more haze and a little less insane fuzz. Because your top 3 famous doom metal guitarists are probably Matt Pike, Liz Buckingham, and of course Tony Iommi.
Oh, another guitarist.
I'm going to give a shout out to Sister Rosetta Thorpe.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Brendan
Yes.
Small.
Yeah, Brendan Small's great. That's true.
I don't know what doom metal is.
I'm going to give a shout out to all the ladies who freaking originated shit and had it ripped off.
Like out of order operation and CPUs. You wouldn't have that computer in your pocket if you did. Wait, no, we're talking music. Never mind.
Oh, man, you can still shout it out.
No, that's okay. We're good.
Yep.
Yeah, so I like Chris Squire. Chris Squire. I don't know. I'm not trying to be a jerk when I'm like, oh, I didn't really ever. I mean, I like Jimi Hendrix a lot.
No, that's okay. I'm
He's
just
amazing.
messing with you. I'm just messing with you. I'm just kidding.
Jimi Hendrix is awesome.
James
I've always
is
loved
a
him.
great player.
I've always loved him. I loved all the feedback and stuff. That was amazing.
Yeah, James is pretty cool.
He's so cool.
I just like, but a description of doom metal, I always describe it as just playing really slow riffs, and you just say anything about like a dragon or like it's like ride the dragon towards the witch's tomb, scumbound, scotaloba, scow down, now find the bones deep within the runes, scumbound, scow, wow.
Can I make a different argument?
Yeah.
So my argument is more that I never really listened to people like for their individual virtuosity. They just seem like a musical athlete to me. So I always wanted to hear how the whole is, the band as a whole plays. To me, that was like more interesting than someone's individual like musical athleticism.
Oh, that I totally agree with that. Like, I've had friends who are like, "Oh yeah, well you like the B-52s? I like this metal. It's like really technically impressive. Like, listen to that riff." I'm like, "Yeah, well, I have a PC that's really technically impressive, but it's an ugly piece of shit."
I mean, I do admire musical athletes, but it's not something that catches
like, I like
me.
compositions.
Usually. Yes, yeah. But also, Chris Squire was technically impressive, and he always fit perfectly. So, to me, he was always my favorite.
Well, technically impressive is fine if it actually sounds good.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
It's like,
I concur, kind sir.
It's not like it matters necessarily, but it also
But I feel like a lot of people, not
can
all
be
of it,
snowed
but,
by
like,
technical virtuosity. And it can be pretty. You can be like, wow, look at what they can do. That's hard.
Yeah.
But it won't hold you in the long run.
Right.
At least not me. Ooh,
people always talk about how much Les Claypool's cool at bass, and I love Les Claypool's
Oh, he's
bass,
great.
but I think his singing's even better, even though nobody talks about he talks like this, and let me tell you all about this little dog now.
Well, that catches your ear. It's like unique.
It's
like having.
I mean, I love his
mosquito
bass
fly
player
into
too,
it.
I do love this.
which is also great because you remember that.
Let me tell you this, you sons of bitches. I got this great old thing right here, and it's. Let me tell you this, you little whippersnapper, Sean. It's like, Sean's not a whippersnapper. He's like 45 years old. And he's like, yes, Colonel, what is it? He's like, well, let me tell you this. Did you know something?
No, I love that stuff you played for me. The Claypool Delirium, right?
Yeah, Sean Lennon and Les
very
Claypool
good.
is the greatest combination.
It's awesome.
Lately.
Have you heard that, May?
No, I haven't.
It's really good.
Les Claypool and.
Sean Lennon.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's really good.
I love Sean Lennon in general, but his stuff with Les Claypool is very good.
It is very good.
And his band with his girlfriend, the Ghost of the Saber-Toothed Tiger, is also very good. But
I'm hypnotizing the puppers.
I mean, the other members of Claypool, Lennon, Delirium are also pretty cool. It's the keyboard player from the Beastie Boys as well. But
Oh, I forgot one of them died.
yeah, MCA.
Oh yeah, MCA.
Did you know the Beastie Boys? They started out as a really bad punk band. They weren't rap for like years.
Yeah, no. There's a documentary about them on, I think Hulu, right?
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Or YouTube, maybe? Or
I'm-
maybe it's the Apple thing. I don't know. I saw an ad
One
for
of
it.
those things. One of the things got documentary.
You're not
somewhere.
actually going to use the service anyways. Don't lie to yourself.
Yeah.
I know what web rip
Hypnotize.
means.
Hypnotize the puppy.
Yeah, check out a dog band. It's called Caninus. It's as dumb as it sounds. It's this people that train their dogs to like bark on like different pitches and like play like really intense music behind it. It's really dumb.
Oh wow! There's actually a guy who comes into the intersection who plays one of my least favorite genres of music,
What's that?
blues.
That's one of
But
my least favorites
the
as well.
dog, his dog knows when to like come in different parts of the songs.
Oh, that's
and, like
really
howl
cool.
along
That's
to
delightful.
it. Yeah.
I like some blues, very rarely. Most of the time I don't, but like I like some things. Like I got this one song goes, Sacagawea, yeah, Sacagawea. Oh, what the little girl does to me. She took those boys, flame loose in a clock. She led them from the daytime in the dark.
Right.
I love,
did that
Sacagawea.
song?
That's me.
Oh, you wrote that. Okay.
But see, that's different. That's not like sad white boys co-opting a genre
and that's the kind of stuff
you
that
know,
sucks. And I do think there's some fun blues songs. Fine Artiste Blues is a great song.
Yeah.
When I quit my job and spent 3 months in bed, thought I'd take up fine art painting instead. I forget how that goes, but that's a great song.
I'm making Peppy so happy. I did not know how much he would love this. I will have to do it more.
Yes. The Riff tree is risen, of course. So
I don't know what that means. What does that
How about songwriters? Who's a favorite songwriter?
know
That
if
might
that
be
means
easier.
Oh, favorite songwriter?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Microphone.
Oh, microphone. Oh, yes. Other people go first. I have to decide.
Robert Hitchcock, and I love Robert Hitchcock, and I love Suzanne Stevens. I love Christian Hirsch, and I love someone called The Naysayer. But she doesn't do music anymore, sadly, but her songs were amazing.
I really like Courtney Barnett. Pretty sure she writes her own
November
songs.
3rd, we have the same
Yeah.
birthday. It's your birthday, Courtney. It's mine too.
Oh, what's her name? Oh, this is bad because I do really like her, but I can't ever remember her name for some reason. Dresden Dolls.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, but I like her.
Crap, I should remember it, but...
I mean, all the people
no,
I already
you
mentioned
had it.
pretty much write their own songs.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
But
How about you, Mike? Favorite songwriters?
Trying to think. Like,
I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, like I rattle things off like on my own, like, but
That's all right.
yeah. I don't
Does
know.
it count if they don't sing? They just do compositions?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, well, then Zoe Keating, too. I mean, being the last of the ones still around, I'm pretty sure David Byrne was the Talking Head who made most of the Talking Head stuff, so...
Well, I think there was some... He did... I mean, Tina Weymouth did...
Oh, I
split
know,
off
I'm
and
just
do,
like...
You know, some
Yeah.
stuff, too. But I think, you know, probably he was the more main songwriter.
Yeah. He's also really autistic. And there's
is
a
he?
great skit. Oh, I mean, he's like Asperger's, but there's like a great thing about him talking about having Asperger's, where he's like, yeah, I think I was when I was younger, but I don't think I am now. And it's like the way he's talking is like, yeah, you know, you're definitely still pretty autistic. Yeah.
You ever see the story of Burt's Bees? It's kind of fucked up.
Oh, yeah, I hear they're pretty
I have
terrible.
not. What is the story of Burt's Bees?
Well, it was this guy. I don't know how to explain it in simple terms, but it was just this guy and like his girlfriend started Burt's Bees, but he was really kind of like super simple living kind of guy, and like all he did was like live in this house with like no electricity, no running water, and he just lived in like a chicken coop basically. And you know, he sold it to his girlfriend just because like he didn't feel like dealing with it, but even though it was worth like millions and millions of dollars, she just gave him like a house worth like $10,000, and then like immediately sold it to Clorox, and he was so upset he just kind of like died.
Oh,
Wow.
that's even worse than I would have imagined.
that's fucked up.
That's super fucked up.
Like, that's more depressing than...
That's
well,
terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Microphone.
it was kind of depressing, like
Oh, sorry. I just keep getting distracted by this drawing I'm doing.
because it was like a really
I'll just bring the
legitimate, like
microphone
very like
down.
just like low like company, like very small.
That's super depressing.
It is very depressing. Well, I noticed they suddenly started coming out with all sorts of like spin-offs on their products like several years back, and I was like,
But he was just this guy who like he was this son of super wealthy. His mom was like a playwright for Broadway. His dad was like an advertising executive. They were both really rich, but he just totally rejected it all and was like living in the forest, just like collecting bee honey and bee wax. And you know, Burt's Bees just kind of started getting big, and he didn't expect it to, and then he just didn't deal with it. It's just crazy. It's just like he came from the super rich background. He was like
Trying to get away from it.
yeah, and he
Yeah.
was just basically like a hermit who lived in the woods.
Huh. Well, it's less sad, I feel like now, because just, you know, eat the rich. But,
but we
I'm just-
can't.
I'm-
Sadly, they have a lot of power, and we're fucked.
I mean, I guess we could, but then it would be...
We gotta get to them. They got
Yeah.
protection, man.
I think they got like guns and stuff.
Also, I
But
really
we
don't
can
want-
get guns, but they got like professional people with guns.
I don't really want human version of mad cow disease, so maybe movie just.
It's real bad. You saw the X-Files episode, right?
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, not good.
That was
not
as
good.
disturbing as that movie you watched with me and Mike with like the rabies.
Oh, that was
yeah.
Oh,
Contagion or what's the
Quarantine.
Quarantine, yeah.
Quarantine or Wreck.
Wreck,
Either one
yeah.
is very good.
Oh
They're
my
pretty
God,
much the same
they're-
exact film.
Oh yeah, one was the Spanish
Yeah,
version.
the original
Wreck,
one was
yeah.
Spanish.
the original one is better done, but it's also less scary because you have to pay attention to the subtitles unless you speak Spanish.
Yeah.
Yeah, then the main character is the same in both. Actually, survive. I read that she survives in the original Spanish.
Oh,
version.
she survives in the Spanish version?
Yeah,
so, yeah.
she's in at least
Oh.
a couple more movies.
Yeah, I
in
didn't
the
like that
series.
part. Why'd they have to kill her? I liked her.
Yeah, they killed her in the American
And
version.
then, yeah.
They did her in.
And then they killed her in Dexter too.
Oh, she
Oh.
was in Dexter?
Yeah, she played Dexter's sister.
Oh, okay.
Dee Dee?
Yeah,
Dexter's sister Dee Dee? Wait a second.
Is the main character in Wreck or Quarantine?
yeah.
Oh,
You're talking
okay.
about Dexter's Lab?
No.
No.
Oh!
What are you talking about? Oh, you're talking about no Dexter about the serial killer.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Dexter's Lab, the cartoon from like 1995.
That was a scary movie. That is a scary movie. I highly recommend it. If you haven't seen Wreck or Quarantine, either one, they're both very, very awesome. And they consistently the monster or the creep or this ghost or whatever is rated the scariest in all movies. And also another great scary movie that three of us have seen
The
here.
Witch?
The Witch.
Oh my God! I don't
a
even know if
great
scary is the right term, but existentially upsetting for
Yes,
sure.
very much so. It's very disturbing.
It's like
and
one of
if you
the-
have not seen it, you like being scared. If you like people getting their heads chopped off and you think that's scary,
That
it
sounds
won't be
kinda
for
boring.
you. Yeah, I think that stuff's boring too. When I was a little kid, I was watching a movie. It was called Hush Hush Sweet Charlotte, and the head goes down the stairs at one point. And my aunts were watching it with me, and they start screaming, and my mom comes running in, and they're screaming about the head. And my mom is like, "What are you letting her watch?" And I turn around and go, "Look, Mommy, there goes her head."
Also, underrated British prog band Griffin.
Well, that's kind of like me and
They reunited and fully. Also, did you see Kira Thungal exists again?
Oh, they do. I
They
didn't know.
reformed during on touring for the first time in like
I don't
40
know what's
years.
happening.
Wow.
Their bands, they're
Oh, yeah.
British prog bands. They are speaking of.
yeah. But no. What's it? The words that were gonna come out of my mouth. I forgot them.
Witchfinder General also reformed.
Oh yeah, no, like that's like me and like me and not Poltergeist, the other scary one.
Poltergeist.
The
House one, Amityville Horror.
no,
So guess,
Green
come on.
Vomit, Spinning Head.
With Linda Blair.
Yeah, Linda
Exorcist?
Blair. Yeah, Exorcist. Yeah, that's like me in The Exorcist. Like every time I've ever seen it, like the movie itself is scary, but when she comes running down the stairs upside down and backwards, it just makes me laugh.
I have not seen that in so long. Have
I
you seen
haven't
that?
seen that movie since it came out.
Oh, well, how old were you when that came out?
I wasn't alive.
Negative.
Oh, okay, all right. I was like, wait, how did you watch that?
Yeah,
thought
I was
that
like,
was pretty
yeah, it
old.
would have been like negative 12 or 15 or something.
Insidious, also another good horror movie.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
It is Tiptoe Through.
That song is not scary.
It is now, John. Deal with it. But no, and it's definitely scary with that thing. Aren't there sequels to it too? Or
There
are they
are.
Any good?
It's a real Tiny Tim horror movie, Blood
I
Harvest.
kind of watched one, but I was grading paper, so I didn't pay attention. It was not fair to watch it, so I
yeah.
don't know.
Well, it's The Witch. It's one of those scary movies where at the end of it you're like, well, I mean, now's not great, but I'm really glad I didn't live then.
That's true as
Yeah.
well. Yes, that is also true. And also, just really, it just fucks with your head. You said you had nightmares from it. I did. Yes, I did as well.
Also check out The Adventures of Horseman.
What's that, John?
It's just about this horse, and he's got like a bunch of like anthropomorphic friends, and they have a bunch of parties and stuff.
Oh, is that the one where he's kind of like a dick all
Yeah,
the
he's
time?
like a dick. He's like, hey, whatever, I'm just Horseman. I'm just fucking Horseman in this
Oh, is
horse.
that-
dimension."
BoJack
it,
Horseman?
No,
No,
it's a
no.
Jason Steele thing.
Jason
Oh.
Steele, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it would be funny to bring that up.
It was.
I can recommend a podcast I like, which is Myths and Legends, and they take like all these famous like stories and myths of all different cultures, and the guy will like he kind of reads them to you, but he also like points out some of the ridiculous aspects of them and the hilarious aspects, and it's a very nice thing to listen to when you wish to go to sleep.
That sounds great. I like listening to lore when I want to go to sleep too.
Me too. Oh, there's probably some new ones I haven't checked out lately.
Even though Aaron Mankey sounds like he's trying not to throw up half the time.
He does. That's
And
true.
Mankey's weird. I took a whole bunch of courses on
Hi,
anthropology.
I'm Aaron Mankey, and I just got out of a hot dog eating contest.
Hot dogs are only good when they're lukewarm. But like when I was in, I took a bunch of classes on anthropology, and like my whole like final like thing, I did this whole project on these people called the trope ranchers. Their entire culture is based on yams. It's very weird. Like, but they don't eat the yams. But like they build houses for the yams, and they collect them all year, and they just don't eat them, and it's very weird.
That is weird.
They live on this specific island in the Papua New Guinea. There's not that many of them.
Papua.
Yes.
What about pineapples and hams?
Well, they can eat those, I'm sure. But for some reason, yams. They don't worship or anything. They just like yams, but they don't eat them.
There was a lore that I had to turn off, and it was about this murderer kept going into houses and slaughtering whole families.
Oh yeah,
and
the German one. Yeah.
yeah, I could not sleep through that. I'm like, okay, this I can't sleep.
Yeah,
through.
that's really upsetting.
This is very upsetting.
No, I
yeah.
like them. I like the ones that are like scary, but like it's probably not a thing you have to worry about. Like
Exactly.
corpse dangling off lighthouse. I'm never gonna work in a lighthouse.
Yeah, I'm not even. I mean, there's some lighthouses around here, but you know,
Yeah.
whatever. Plus, yeah.
I don't think there's any lighthouses where there's gonna be like a guy trapped with a corpse
Where
for like
is
6
the nearest
months.
lighthouse? Dunkirk, maybe?
No, it's
there's
like
one in
right
Buffalo.
on the
There is
Buffalo.
one in Buffalo?
Yeah,
Buffalo.
it's right on the little island peninsula thingy there.
Oh,
There's
it
also
is?
one
Okay,
right there
I'm s-
in the military park.
Okay, are those real lighthouses?
That's
Well,
the
one of them,
same
because-
lighthouse.
Plenty
It's
of.
a what?
That's the same
You two are
lighthouse.
talking about the same exact
Oh, okay.
lighthouse.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
because there's plenty
no.
of boat traffic coming into Buffalo. I mean,
There
you know.
is. It's
And
true.
then the intake thing for Buffalo's water, the intake crib is also was a lighthouse at one point, so it was both. It's that big round thing.
What is that? An active lighthouse? Can
No, not anymore.
yeah.
Are you sure?
Okay.
'Cause, I mean, I might.
Oh no, that the Buffalo lighthouse, but I don't
Yeah.
think the intake crib is.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say, I mean, I have a lot of family who are like Great Lake, you know, like
People?
merchant mariners, and they, you know, they come in, they dock in Buffalo and stuff. But
No, I just didn't think anybody used them anymore, and I knew there was one Dunkirk still. Oh no,
did you know?
I'm a bad Buffalonian.
This is fascinating. The oldest ship still afloat for the U.S. Navy that they still actively use was built in 1795.
What?
Holy shit.
What?
Yeah, look it up.
What? How is it still considered the same ship? They must have replaced every single board on the entire damn thing.
But
I
it
don't-
started in 1795.
Yeah.
I swear
That's
to God, look
crazy.
this up. I might be it's either 1795 or 1797, but I swear to God, it's the oldest active Navy ship that we still use.
What
Wow.
do you use it for? As a decoy?
I don't know, but I know they still sail it.
That's interesting. That's. Uh-oh.
Yeah, look it up. And the
Yes,
Buffalo.
do tell us, Dudley.
that-
I feel I feel that there might be a connection to the internet through the space pouch.
it's highly possible. One of the
Well, I have more powers than the internet's
It's
combined.
success. One of the oldest boats still.
Hold on,
afloat
let
is
me
the
go look
Buffalo
in this
Fireboat.
Well, then why do I hear dial-up modems inside my head?
How old's the Buffalo Fireboat?
It's from the 1800s. I looked it up. I
Wow.
was looking up the oldest boats last night. Where
So
you were asleep, 'cause
amazing.
I started thinking
That
about
is
boats a
pretty
lot.
amazing.
I was asleep and you started thinking of boats?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, now I just
That's
want a
fine.
Sunday. Because they put them in those little tiny boat-shaped
Oh, I
dishes.
like that.
I like custard with chocolate sauce and Spanish peanuts. Not hot fudge, because fuck hot fudge.
I like it with the peanut sauce.
You're
when
wrong.
You were
No,
going
I'm
to
not
custard
wrong.
corner.
What's wrong with
Hot fudge.
It tastes
so
like
hot.
warm plastic.
Yeah, I don't really like hot fudge
Warm
either.
chocolate plastic.
You never
I,
had
I like chocolate syrup.
John doesn't like hot fudge either.
I like
That
chocolate
totally
sauce.
makes it true. that it's
Was
gross.
I right on the year of that ship, Dudley?
Are you talking about old Ironsides?
That's the one.
Yes.
I was. Good.
All right.
Great success. Yeah, isn't that crazy that this Navy's had the same boat in active use for like over like 200
Before,
years?
like, we were a country.
Yeah, I mean that's
Wow.
It's an ironclad ship, yeah?
Yes.
Yes.
That's why it's called Ironsides, not Iron Tub.
Well, yeah, but shut up, Dudley.
Dudley has some
It's
sarcasm.
the USS Constitution.
Shut up, Wesley.
Yeah. Also, check
Shut
out
up.
the all-lady prog
Nay.
band from Toronto called Poetry. They're very good.
Thank you for looking that up, Dudley.
Thank you very much for
No
looking at
problem.
For
I
accessing
have
it from in the space
I don't
pouch.
have a tablet, I have a tiblet.
That's it, lad.
And you said the Buffalo Fire ship is very old as
That's
well.
one of the oldest boats afloat. It was on the list of oldest boats still in use. I was looking up the oldest boats still afloat, and that was like one of them. I mean, it's not as close to like that crazy Navy boat from like 17 and whatever.
I really want to find somebody who has like a camera drone and like fly it around this like boat that's down behind one of the grain silos down in like the first ward.
Oh, that
grain
one?
elevator. Yeah.
That's it was used to be an old luxury ship.
Yeah.
Actually have been on that because there was a play on it. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
It's yeah.
I was afraid to go on it.
I went on it. It was
Why were you afraid?
yeah. Why were you afraid?
It looked like it was full of holes. I felt like if I stepped on it, like it would just like I would fall through.
It kind of does look like that now, yeah.
Because I mean that was right by where I lived, and I walked by it like constantly. And I was like, that looks so nasty.
It looks like it'd be haunted.
It does. I mean, I've been on plenty of ships. I got a lot of family who are
By
at sea.
bougie a-holes.
I've had so many people try to get me to do, like,
some caviar.
I couldn't really tell because it was such bad. It was so decrepit. If it had been real fancy or not, I could not tell. What's garbage?
It just seems like a floating piece of garbage.
I kind of like it because it looks like a floating piece of garbage.
I don't know. I was on it. I have some pictures somewhere, but
That's sort of my aesthetic.
I don't know. That's cool, but
Not my personal aesthetic.
I've had so many people try and get me to do bourgeois photos, but I don't think I'm like the fancy foreign porn type of guy.
Wait, what?
I've just had different people try to offer me free bourgeois photo shoots before.
You mean
He was saying
boudoir?
boudoir. I'm sorry. That's
Sorry.
Oh, bourgeois.
Yeah.
We were all
different things. I'm like,
Bourgeois.
people want you to dress
Bedroom.
up in fancy clothes and look like a rich
I
a-hole.
know. We
that
were
I
so
would do.
confused.
But I don't want to do like fancy porno. I don't think I'm any good at that.
People try to get you to do porn?
Well, just the bourgeois, whatever you
Boudoir?
Bourgeois. At least 3 separate people.
Boudoir.
Are,
People have
like,
tried to get me to be a lady wrestler, but that's because I'm really big and muscular.
Yeah, but I think that's because you'd actually be good at it. I
would
think you'd
actually
actually
be
be
good
good
at
at that
it,
as opposed to like people who are just like sexy doing it. You'd actually be good at it.
Ow, she broke my leg.
I broke someone's teeth out once.
Yes, that's a bad story.
Oh,
It
I've never
was-
heard that story.
It's a good
Talent.
story, but it's a scary story.
My sister had
Because
this
I'm afraid I'm going to be
boyfriend,
like asleep and like just wake up because like you're having a bad dream or something.
and he was a big guy. He was like 6'3" or 4", and he was on the wrestling team, and he always wanted to practice wrestling. And so he would try and get me to wrestle. I'd be like, leave me alone. I don't want to wrestle. Leave me alone, Tim. And I was eating my, sandwich. I was a
Good.
kid watching TV, eating my sandwich. I mean, I was like a teenager.
Yeah.
And he comes over and he takes a bite out of it and he spit it in my face. And I was so
What an ass.
mad. I like leaped on him and then we were going at it, right?
Uh-huh.
And all of a sudden he gets like real pissed off and I'm like, those are not wrestling moves. And especially when he grabbed my underpants and started pulling them. I'm like,
my
that is
God.
totally not a wrestling move. So I grabbed his underpants and I yelled for all my sisters to come and grab his underpants and try and pull them right off. And they yelled for my mom to try and pull them off. And then my mom's like, knock it off, and she pulls it apart. And then she's in the kitchen. He's sitting there and he's going like this. And she's like, Tim, what's wrong? And he goes like that and he holds his hand out and I broke 3 of his teeth out.
Oh my gosh, good for you though. He sounds like an absolute
Yeah, that
sack
kind of
of
sounds like that kind of sounds like a
error.
douchebag.
Call us at 716-467-7745. survive.
Tell us about your favorite old ship that's still afloat.
Yes.
I do like Old Ironside.
Tell us about your old favorite shit that's still afloat.